What an interesting story I've just seen passing through my radar yesterday. And I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but history was actually made in Parliament when a private member's bill was passed for the very first time in the National Assembly. Listen to this. The Labour Laws Amendment Bill that was proposed by the ACDP aims to give fathers the opportunity to take paternity leave. It is the first private member's bill introduced by an ordinary MP to be adopted by the House. So there is going to be major developments when it comes to paternity leave. The bill stresses the importance of parental leave for fathers to give them time to bond with their children and also provide adoption and surrogacy leave. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, I thought that there was something very, very interesting. We'll definitely look further into that one, but that's a great development for fathers wanting to bond with their children as well during that very important phase just after they're born. All right, now let's talk about what's happening in terms of investigations. The Presidency yesterday confirmed that President Jacob Zuma has been briefed by the National Assembly Speaker Baleka Mbete on allegations of interference by the State Security Minister Bongani Bongo. Now, in the inquiry by the Public Enterprises Committee on Eskom's affair, this follows claims that recently emerged alleging that Bongo had tried to bribe the evidence leader, Advocate Ntuthuzelo Vanara, to withdraw from the inquiry. The matter has also been referred to Parliament's Ethics Committee. To give us a little bit of a clearer picture on the role of the committee, we joined from our parliamentary studios by its co-chair, Omie Singh. Omie, thank you very much for joining us and welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much, Leanne.
All right, let's sort of get a little bit of background a little bit. This joint committee on ethics and members' interests, what is its responsibilities?
Basically, the Joint Committee on Members' Interest and Ethics and Members' Interest is a committee that's from the National Assembly. My co-chair is Mr. Masondo, and myself from the National Council of Provinces jointly chair the Ethics Committee of Parliament.
Yeah. I mean, considering the view that we have the best institutions and instruments, but yet we fail to implement them, would you say this committee has done well in actually dealing with wayward parliamentarians and serving the country as well?
Yes, Leanne, the committee is doing its best in regards to the kind of challenges we're experiencing, and we are achieving what we set out to achieve.
Okay. All right, now let's dig a little bit deeper into this one that you're having a look at now. Last week, the committee received all claims and documents and everything that it's needed. What has happened since last week, and what is the status of the case now?
Well, Leanne, the status of the case now is that there's still an allegation by the registrar of the Ethics Committee attempted to receive a bribe. So the process is very important because normally the registrar of the Ethics Committee will have received a complaint from the public or from members of Parliament. In this case here, Mr. Vanara, who is the registrar, is the person that alleged had a attempted bribe by the state minister, Honorable Bongo. So it's going to slightly change because we need to now appoint a new registrar in his place for this particular case. He can't be the judge and jury in this particular case.
Okay, okay. You were in fact meant to have a meeting yesterday. You yourself were meant to have a meeting with Advocate Vanara. Did this go ahead?
Well, the meeting with the Advocate Vanara wouldn't be very ethical for me now at this stage because he is the complainant, and we'd rather have him in committee when the full multi-party committee sits to discuss and investigate the matter thoroughly.
I mean, there's been quite a lot of evidence, and I know that at this point there's it's all allegations, but we did see weekend reports, particularly the Sunday Times, saying that it had actually seen an affidavit by Advocate Vanara in which he alleged that Bongo actually offered him the bribe. Have you yourself seen that affidavit?
Yes, I have seen the affidavit, and we are, in fact, now this process sending letters to the Speaker to appoint a registrar to handle this one particular case.
Yeah, yeah. Just very quickly, we also did see something coming from the presidency. I'll quote the tweet saying, President Jacob Zuma is considering the matter from the National Assembly Speaker on allegations against the minister. Very short, very sweet, and yet he has addressed it. What does this basically signify as well?
Well, the President has the prerogative to decide on his ministers. I think that the process in regards to the Ethics Committee will have to do the full investigation and thereafter give a report of that hearing.
Is this a parallel process between the Presidency and the Ethics Committee, or is it something that can be joined together, this investigation into these claims?
And I think that the process of the Ethics Committee cannot run parallel to the President's decision. We are an independent committee, and we are sworn into confidentiality, so we can't even discuss this with the President in regards to our reports.
All right. On a final closing note, when can we start to see this all gaining traction and perhaps find some conclusions? When are you hoping to wrap this all up by?
You know, the Parliament is on its, by next week, would have closed for the December recess. So this process only could start at the first term in 2018.
All right, let's leave it there for this morning. Omie Singh, thank you very much for talking to us. He's the co-chair of the Joint Committee on Ethics and members' interests on the role of the Ethics Committee and members' interests. All right, let's take a break here.